All right, everyone. Well, guess what? Today is the first no trade day of the month. I didn't really expect that. Usually, coming back after a long weekend, people are looking forward to trading and there's a little more action. But it's also not totally unusual that around long holiday weekends, trading volume's a little lower because of people that add an extra day or two to the weekend to take a vacation somewhere. So often, like the Thursday, Friday before a long weekend can be a little slow. And sometimes a Tuesday, Wednesday coming back can be a little slow. So it's a 4-day week. There may be some people who took the whole week off. Of course, I'm here. I showed up bright and early looking to take a trade, but I got nothing. No trades today. So let me break down the process that I went through as I evaluated the various stocks that hit my scanner this morning. So each day I'm scanning the entire market for stocks that are moving higher. I'm looking for volatility. I don't make money buying something at 5 and selling at 5. I want to buy something at 5 and sell it at $6. So when I sat down this morning, or actually when I first pulled up my scans, I pulled them up on my phone as I usually do around 6, it was around 6:45. And I saw that our leading gapper was it was STSS, which currently has 200 million shares of volume. But as I suggested during my game plan yesterday, this is a penny stock. So the penny stock theme is continuing. Now, as I looked at it, I was like, all right, I mean, it's obviously made a nice move up here, but as I was looking at it, it was like basically at its peak right here. And then from that point, it ended up actually pulling back. It hasn't come back to that pre-market level. So I guess a nice move, but in any case, I don't like the price range. And even if I did, the chart pattern isn't set up well. So anyways, I ended up seeing that the scan didn't look all that interesting. And I kind of thought, all right, this is not surprising. So I better just be a little bit cautious and hopefully we'll see something else that pops up. So I came over here and sat down a little after 7 a.m., got my all my charts up, got my scans running, and I saw that STSS was still the leading gapper. INSM was a second leading gapper. This one had news right at 6:30 a.m. It spikes up instantly, but then it kind of pulls back. Now the float on this is 142 million shares. It's $47 a share. A little too expensive for my comfort zone. LPA didn't end up hitting the scanners, as far as I noticed, until a little later at the open. Very light volume, so I'm going to disregard that. CALT, this hit the scanners, but the price is exactly sideways. Why would the price be sideways? Because it's been bought out. Now, this is very typical. We see a buyout, and then the price trades sideways more or less at that level. So usually these will have the actual price on it, but I'm not seeing it right now. So in any case, it is a premium over the closing price, but nonetheless, this is not something that's going to give us volatility. It's just going to go sideways. Don't make money buying stocks going sideways. So the next one down is POAI. POAI hit my scanners on the early side, and the first squeeze began at about, let's see, what time was this? 7 a.m. Now, the problem is I pulled up the level 2 on it. It's got 60 million shares of volume right now, but I pretty quickly realized, this is a thickly traded stock. This is not one that's going to be moving quickly. I'm going to leave it alone. Now, when I say thickly traded, I want you to imagine trying to swim through oatmeal. I want you to imagine trying to walk in quicksand. This is, you want me to give you some more? I want you to imagine swimming in honey. You're not going anywhere. And that's what it's like with POAI. See how many buyers and sellers there are? I mean, this thing struggles to move 2-3 cents a share. It's just so thickly traded. And I think it's high frequency trading algorithms. I'm not sure why, it's amazing to me because this stock yesterday had 33,000 shares of volume. Yesterday being Friday before the weekend. 33,000 shares of volume. Today it's got 60 million. And it's like almost instantaneously these algorithms turned on this particular stock. And as far as I felt, made it more or less untradeable. It became so thickly traded so fast that it was just like not possible to find really any. I mean, look at these. I don't see a pattern here. I don't see any obvious patterns. Break above VWAP, back below, back above, back below. I mean, you could say a little pullback right here, but you didn't even get 15 cents on that trade. false breakout right here, but it was so thickly traded, that's not surprising. So some stocks are like this for whatever reason, I don't know, but this was one of them, and so I didn't trade it, and I think that was the right move. I don't feel like I missed anything. So then as the morning is going on, I'm continuing to wait patiently at the top and bottom of the hour for stocks that have news. I'm thinking, let's see if we can find something that looks good. So we had a couple stocks hit the scans. SMR, 63 million share float. I thought that was too high. Court float was too high. Price is a little too high. POAI, we already talked about that one. So then LIDR hits the scans about 8 a.m. Now, this one ended up putting in a pretty nice move at the open, but what's funny about it is it squeezes up here and then it halts down. It halted going down right here. So it just didn't hold up well. And when it first hit the scans, I was like, I don't know, guys. I'm just going to sit and watch. Let's see if it forms a pattern. There's no pattern. There's no pattern. No pattern, no trade. So next one up, let's see. We had SMR, OKLO. All right, so OKLO, I looked at this on the daily, and I noticed immediately that it used to trade almost exactly at $10 for a long time. It traded right at $10 a share. This is a characteristic of a SPAC, a special acquisition company. So special purpose acquisition companies trade sideways at $10. Basically, it's a shell company that's created, and they sell shares at $10 a share. And anyone can buy shares. You could buy 1 million shares, however many you want. And if they raise $50 million by selling all those shares, they go take that $50 million and they go look to buy a company and merge with a company that's privately held. So, for instance, I don't need to give you for instance. I think that makes enough sense as it is. So anyways, they did this merger and the price goes from 11 up to 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. But then nosedive. And I don't know if there was a lockup on how long insiders have to wait before selling shares. I think there probably is for some of the stock options that would have been granted to people that were in the company that merged into this publicly traded company. But then at a certain point, you get the selling that comes in. And that's what's happened on this one. So the selling has come in, and the pop today, I just didn't think it would hold. And I said, again, let's wait for the pattern. So we didn't end up getting any good patterns pre-market. At the open, it did pop up, but drop back down, kind of grinding back up. But again, I said, nope, I don't trust it. Next one that hits the scanners, JAGX. JAGX I've traded before. I'm familiar with the stock. I was like, okay, the float's 4 million shares. I thought it was higher. I noticed they had just done a reverse split. So I actually jumped on this one over to BAM SEC, checking the SEC filings just to see, well, wait a second, what was the float prior, just to confirm. So SEC filings show 293 million shares available to trade as of May 14th prior to the split. So the split was right here on May 23rd. So then I'm like, all right, this was a 300 million share float. Yes, they did the split, but when we look at the volume on these days, we're talking about 60 million shares of volume, which would be 1 million shares a day, adjusted because of the split. So it's not like it's a super low volume stock. Didn't have high expectations for it. Again, said, I'll wait for a pattern to form. No patterns formed. So there was no pattern, nothing to trade. All right, so that was JAGX. Then SWIN pops up on the scans. And SWIN is... it's a joke that they're still trying to pretend that they're actually going to go on to be a successful company. These drops here that we see, when you have these Chinese IPOs and they drop 90% in one day, nobody trusts them anymore. How could you possibly trust them? You can't. So yeah, they put out some news today, enters into strategic partnership, but nobody's buying. And I mean, I guess some people bought into that, but I'm not buying it. And I don't trust it. I just am appalled by the way these are dropping and frustrated to see most likely a lot of wealth being created for the people that are behind these, but retail traders are getting dragged through the dirt. So I don't like seeing that. I'm happy to trade them on the upside, but I don't like seeing these kind of drops. So anyways, nothing for me on this one now on the backside of that move. And then next thing you know, we were coming into the open and it's nearly 9:30. So at the opening bell, I said, you know what? What's obvious today? STSS, maybe. These ones, no good, no good. I don't think we have anything obvious. I don't think we have anything that really fits my strategy today. So what's the right thing to do? Well, maybe the right thing to do today, even though I hate to say it, is to have it a no trade day. This is going to be my first no trade day for the whole month of May. Of course, didn't trade yesterday because of the market holiday. Already had 4 red days. So I'm not inclined to have another right here. I'd rather have a no trade day. April looks like maybe I had 1 no trade day. March, I think I was traveling on this day. I'm pretty positive. So I think that was a travel day, but it was a no trade day nonetheless. February, probably a no trade day, again. So they're periodic, but it's not often that I have these days. Looking at the month of May so far, I'm in okay shape. P&L net or gross here, 42,000. 9,000 first week, second week was flat, third week and fourth week were both good, coming up at about 15,000. It'll be hard to hit the $15,000 weekly kind of goal this week. I would need to have, 3 $5,000 days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But with a no trade day today, the market feels cold. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull $5,000 days out of this market right now. I think I'm going to have to be content with this market maybe coming up a little bit short relative to maybe what I would prefer. But again, big picture is, life is good. I'm keeping my risk in check. I'm not overstaying my welcome. And, the past 90 days here, up about 257,000. So just trying to stay nice and consistent, nice and steady, and not overstay my welcome. So that's the name of the game for me, showing up every single day, trading what's obvious, what's right in front of me. And if there's nothing clean, I'm totally okay with having a no trade day. By the way, those of you who haven't already checked out our Memorial Day sales, they are ending very soon. So make sure you check these out. Those of you who have been thinking about becoming a Warrior Pro member, learning more about my strategy, you can come over to our website. You could check out the Warrior Pro right here off the dashboard. Go to how to join and then Warrior Pro. And then you can read about Warrior Pro. You'll see the special sales that we've got going on. But we've got a bunch of FAQs here. We talk about the trading courses that are included in the program. So you can check out all these classes that are included for Warrior Pro members. You can learn more about the chat room, learn more about the scanners, learn more about the charts, the simulator, the news feed, and everything else. If you move around the website too fast, it'll slow you down. So mentoring, and you can check out some of our success stories here from students who have done really well. But I'll remind you, as always, that we don't track the typical result of members in our community, so we can't make any guarantee that you're more or less likely to achieve success by learning from me. But these are badges that we have granted to our members who have verified their profitability with us. They've earned that badge, and we're always happy to talk about the success that they've had. So anyways, if you haven't already checked out the Warrior Pro curriculum, come on over, check it out, and hopefully I'll see you in the community bright and early tomorrow. I'll be live streaming as always, and hopefully we have a better looking scanner tomorrow. Ultimately, I got to trade the market I'm in. So if the market gives me some really nice opportunities, I'm going to get aggressive. I'm going to trade them. If it's slow, I'm going to step back and I'm going to exercise that muscle of discipline and patience. All right. Thanks as always for tuning in. I hope you hit that thumbs up. I hope you're subscribed to the channel, and I'll see you for the next episode real soon.